Alright, this is a tutorial for making the buffalo pen GeoGebra applet. And in this installment, we're going to make the polygon, the rectangle part. When you want to adjust the slider, you have to touch this slider button, and then you can scroll over until you get the arrow and then right click, and then you're going to get object properties. Keep the increment at 0.1. Okay, again, I'm going to right click over it, change the interval from 0, this time p divided by 2. Now you notice I put the variable w in that last one. It stands for width. Now I'm going to create a height equation. So you see I have p, which is a variable representing the total perimeter, and then minus 2w divided by 2. It should be an equation you've already played with in class. Now for the point B, that should be a 0 here. Notice that the coordinate is dependent on the height. Okay, let me do this a little bit here. And this is at 100, so we can't really see it, but if we bring this down, you can see that as I move W, it affects D, which is the width, but since the perimeter is fixed, it affects B. Now I'm going to click here, and we want the perpendicular line, and what you do, and if you ever want to know how to use one of these tools, you can just go over it, and it says, and it gives you a description. It says select point and perpendicular line. So I'm going to select the point, and then the perpendicular line is going to be the x-axis, and you can see that makes that. Now I'm going to do it again. I'm going to click on B, and I can either use the y-axis or I can use this line here. I'll do that just to show you. Now I'm going to create a point of intersection. So you go here, go down to intersect, and then if I go over both of these, they both highlight, and I can choose that. Now we see we have A, B, C, D. Now I can go to the polygon tool, which is already on here. Click on polygon. And the trick with the polygon tool, you start at a point, and then you go to the next point, and then you can see it's starting to shade. So go to the next point and click. You're clicking as you reach each point, and then you go here. Now, but you're not done. You have to go back to the first point to close the polygon. You see that we get a polygon, and that actually gives us the area there. Now, what I want to do is I want to adjust the axes so we can see everything. So I'm going to go to the Move Graphics view, and I'm going to, if I scroll over here, I can squeeze these guys down. Is that? Okay, that does not seem to be working right now. So Move Graphics view. There we go. And I'm going to make it so 50 is the maximum on both of these axes. So a mathematical question for you is, why is 50 the maximum? I'm going to try and make it as square as possible. Well, on this one it's not going to be, but you'll see why later. So now what we have is, if I get, I'm going to have to go to this move thing here. I can make that go all the way up to 100 for my maximum perimeter, and you can see the polygon gets adjusted like that. So now I'm going to start making this just look like a rectangle. So once I'm on my pointer, my move, I can click in here, I can take off the grid, and I can take off the axes, and I can also make other things invisible. So if I go to point L and click on it here, that makes that disappear. And these lines, a good mathematical question is, why is the line of this, why is the equation of A, x equals 20.3, this vertical line, and also B, y equals 29.7, so they disappear. Okay, now just for the time being, I want to make some of these names or labels disappear. So if I just right click on that, I can go to show label, and then it disappears. And I'm going to leave, actually we can go back, and I'm going to make that reappear. We'll deal with that later. I'm going to go back here, and I can drag these things around to where I like them. And I don't want to name this to be named, so I'm going to click show label, and I'm going to turn this off. Show label. And then I am going to click on this, and I'm going to go to object properties, and you see how it says show, the show labels check name. I'm just going to change it to value, and then that gives me the length. I'm going to do the same thing for D here. So object properties, and I'm going to go to value. There we go. Okay. And then, interestingly, so if we, for a rectangle with perimeter 100, we can adjust this, and you can see it now. In class we already looked at this. If you go to 25, you have a nice square there. Now the axes aren't equal yet, but we'll adjust that in the next video. So why don't we just stop here.